Hey, it's Clay at claytrader.com. This will be my top 10 stocks as we head into Wednesday, January 29th. This will be a technical analysis breakdown, so if you're someone that uses charts within your trading, or maybe you're just interested in learning more about charts and how they can be used as a tool to help make good decisions as a trader, this will be a video for you. First off, a couple clarifications. Number one, the candlestick that you see right there will be moving around and changing. That is because the market's still open for a small amount of time. But I like to do these videos when the market is still open because sometimes we can capture some really interesting late day price movement. Second, I'll be using the 30-minute time frame, meaning each one of these candlesticks here represents 30 minutes worth of time. So stock number one, ticker symbol NVDA. And this will mean a little bit more to those of you that watched yesterday's video, but if you did, hopefully remember me talking about this bullish falling wedge pattern. And not to pat myself on the back, but to pat charts on the back. A very, very nice technical breakout here of that area. In fact, this morning actually came down during that opening 30 minutes. Look, came down and just, I mean, you can't make this stuff up. And if you don't believe me, I'm not offended. Like, you just put that line in there. Fair enough. All you got to do is go back, watch yesterday's video, and you'll see I put that line right there. So right there, beautiful breakout of that area. So the falling wedge pattern has produced a good, solid breakout pattern. So I'll go ahead and get rid of that as it's all served its purpose for now, and we'll do some of these new updates there. So the newest dynamic here to watch moving forward, in my opinion, is just going to be this overarching trend line right here. Meaning, hey, Clay, yes, this is a nice bounce, but is this bounce still healthy? Is there anything to worry about? And in my opinion, as long as the price stays above that green line right there, then the bulls are doing just fine. Nothing can go straight up. So the price can come up here and come all the way back down here. Go all the way up here, come all the way back down there. But notice what's happening. These lows would still be getting higher and higher. And that's what you want to see. A true, strong recovery. As again, it's not necessarily going to go straight up, but at least show signs of progress and the quote-unquote sign of progress in this situation via putting in those higher lows. As far as next potential battlegrounds, keep a close eye out for that purple line there, the 50-period moving average. But in my opinion, at least, the most important dynamic right now is not necessarily breaking areas of resistance. It's all about just showing those signs of progress, which again is being defined as staying above that trend line right there. But overall, nice movement today. Let's see if the price can build upon this momentum for Wednesday. Next one, SLXN, and I like this because there's a very well-defined pattern here. So as I draw this into play, please don't think I'm trying to impress you or imply this is a great discovery or a special skill. A lot of people have noticed this pattern, and I say all that because when a lot of people are watching the same patterns and wondering the same thing, call it a self-fulfilling prophecy, call it whatever you want, it can produce some very dynamic movement. So first dynamic of the pattern is the resistance area. So let's get this resistance trend line drawn into play right there. And then the next part of the pattern, this area of support down here, change that to green. And then just to make the pattern easier to see, let's keep it one color. So we have our resistance, we have our support, we have the big upwards move right here, and this would be a bull flag pattern. Now, just because something's bullish does not mean for sure guaranteed it's going to go upwards, but it is certainly more than valid to think that if the price can come up here and get up through that level, that break right there in and of itself could create additional buying pressure. So if you like stocks down below $5, you like bull flag patterns, here you go. Next one, TNXP, had a very crazy day today. Started off just kind of nice and methodical, slowly grinding upwards, and then yeah, that 30-minute session showed up right there, and things got pretty haywire, but let's try to make sense of it all and map out some technical levels. So we'll start with the straightforward dynamic, and that's the area of resistance, and nothing fancy here other than the fact of where did the party finally stop, and that was right up here at 0.583. So you can see basically 4 candles in a row. Price got up there and just could not quite push through that level. So if there is any sort of recovery, that'll definitely be the main battleground to watch very closely. In terms of areas of support, from an overarching standpoint, so far so good, meaning the price is still staying above and respecting that 50-period moving average. Sure, the price did drop below it a little bit right there, but that didn't last very long before the price snapped back up above there. And then you can see right now as I talk, the price is still nicely above that area. So that's certainly going to be the ideal level, meaning, what would be best case moving forward. And definitely if the price can stay above that purple line there. If the price does not stay above it, then the much more important level would be down there, that pink line there, the 200-period moving average right now valued at essentially 30 cents. So yes, wild ride this afternoon, but like I said, from the big picture standpoint, the price is still staying above that purple line, which gives it the ability to build the higher base. And as I talked about previously, when stocks are building those higher bases, that's the name of the game. Next one here, RGTI, and this is getting very, very interesting here as we head into Wednesday. So let me add in this area of resistance right there, and you can see we basically have this wedge formation chopping around here. Now, granted, I put in that green line in yesterday's video, but now with the price not only respecting that green line, but working its way upwards, it's now getting well within striking distance where it becomes a very valid, very logical question to say, is the price going to be able to break above this area of the chart. And I say area because technically speaking, you have two primary levels that the price will need to fight for through. Primary level number 1 right there, that purple line there, 50 period moving average at 1320, and then primary level number 2, the one I already talked about, that overall resistance trend line right there. Now, no guarantees, but if the price is able to push up through both of those, and if it's a high volume break, then again, no guarantees, but it's certainly more than rational to think that if the price pushes through each of those areas, that could really generate a very solid breakout. And even if you just want to call it a self-fulfilling prophecy, create a whole lot of upwards excitement. So nice clean pattern here. Now it's just a question of can the price break up through the top part? We'll see what happens. Next one, HEPA, and we have ourselves another one of these patterns that you got to think a lot of people are watching. So we have the resistance part of the pattern right there. Whoops. We have the support part of the pattern right there. And then just to keep this hopefully easiest to see, so again, we have resistance, we have support, we have the nice upwards move right here. For you golfers out there trying to make it a little bit more visual for you, put the golf hole down here. This would be not a bull flag pattern, but rather a bull pennant pattern. So same general idea. Just because it's a bullish pattern does not mean for sure guaranteed it's going to go upwards, but certainly more than valid to think that if the price were to come around here somewhere, get to that area, and then get the break, that break in and of itself could create additional buying pressure. So if you like penny stocks, you like bull pennants, here you go. Real quick, want to take a break and personally invite you to get signed up for this free live online webinar that I'm offering here in a couple of days. So if you've been enjoying what you've seen and you want to learn more about this tool, how it can and should be used to build consistency and manage risk, then definitely get signed up for the free live class. If you're watching on YouTube, there's a link down in the description box you can use to sign up, or if you're watching right at my website, there's an area on the webpage you can use to sign up. So like I said, if you've been enjoying, then definitely get signed up for the free class. Next one, TRIB, and have ourselves another bull pennant pattern as I just talked about. So let's get this quickly drawn into play. Going to go through this a whole lot quicker here because you've just heard me talk about it, and I want to respect your time as much as possible. So get that to green. And like I said, I just want to make sure everybody sees it. So let's keep it one color. So we have our resistance, we have our support, we have the big upwards move here, we have the golf hole down here. So here is the bull pennant pattern. So maybe some of you don't like penny stocks, but you do enjoy this price range. You like things at least up over $1. So yeah, can the price come up here and push through that level? And does that break create a more, buying pressure to the upside? We'll see what happens on Wednesday. Next one, JBLU. This one got absolutely hammered down today, but what makes this interesting in my mind is nothing, fancy, but just check out the afternoon action. Nice, solid upwards movement, which leads to the question, is this the start of something bigger? Now think about that question. It makes no sense to ask that question if nothing worthwhile is even happening. But that's not the case here. Something worthwhile is happening. The price is starting to show some upward strength. Now, to be fair, maybe this is not the start. Maybe this thing just rolls right back over. Totally possible. But again, to be fair, maybe this is the start of something much bigger, and this thing's just going to keep on rocking and rolling over the next couple of days. So there are no guarantees, and that's why risk management matters. But the whole idea of a watch list is to find unique, find interesting situations, and not randomly rush out and buy anything, but at least watch it. So if you find this unique, if you find this interesting, if you like to ask the question, okay, something has started, but is it the start of something even bigger? Then definitely keep an eye on JBLU. Next one here, TSLA. Now this one also had a falling wedge going into today, but unlike NVDA, this one wasn't quite as clean. It was, it kind of got really messy around there. So this falling wedge, overall it did work out because you got the break and up it went. But as far as trying to, it just wasn't the cleanest of falling wedge breakouts. But that's just how it goes sometimes. So like NVIDIA, if you remember back to that one, the whole idea was acknowledging the fact that, yeah, as of right now, Tesla has made a very solid move. But does there have any sort of true strength? Is this a healthy move? How do you measure the healthy move? Well, that's where we go back to let's just get an overall, there we go. Let's get an overall trend line into place and see if this can respect this trend line and continue to start to grind itself higher and higher moving forward. So keep an eye on that trend line, and in my opinion at least, as long as the price is above that trend line, then overall the bulls are doing just fine because that would imply the price is putting in those higher lows. In terms of areas of resistance, next key battleground to watch right there at not only the purple line 50 period moving average, but this area right here, you can see quite the little, clumping here of previous highs, and then you correspond that over here, and it's basically matching up with the pink line right there, which is the 200 period moving average. So it's basically like a double whammy of resistances. That's not to say that the price, it's impossible to break through, but it is to say that, if the price is going to push through, the bulls really better bring their A game. But Anyway, look at it. Nice movement today. Definitely showing some strength, but let's see if the price can at least continue to show signs of progress by staying above that trend line. Next one here, YIBO, and I have to have this one scrunched over because if I do that, you can see because of that crazy movement back here, it becomes very hard to see. But if I just move it over and get that stuff out of the way, we can make this a little bit easier to see. But right now, we have an interesting dynamic here as this thing is starting to come back to life here. You had the big gap up, it pulled back, but notice how it has respected that purple line right there. So if you were to envision this as a wave and then the price as the surfer, you can see the price is doing a good job of surfing on that wave and now starting to get a little upwards pressure. So a couple situations, like I said, first situation, just asking that question, all right, is this the start of something bigger? And then just for people that like to play breakouts, very curious on whether or not the price can break up through that level right there. That seems to be the key point. You can see by attaching that level and that level, did a fantastic job of forecasting that level. So as I've said a million times and might say a couple more million times, no guarantees, but certainly valid to think that if the price comes up through there and breaks up through that level, that break in of itself could create additional buying pressure. Next one, RNAZ, and this is a pretty tricky chart to talk about because there's a whole lot of perspective that goes into it. I mean, if you're some sort of day trader, flipper, scalper, and you bought up there and your plan was to buy and sell within 4 minutes, well then yes, from that standpoint, the chart looks absolutely terrible. But if you care about the bigger picture, then yes, there has been this big pullback here this afternoon. You can't deny that. But part of caring about the bigger picture is acknowledging, sure, there has been this bigger pullback, but where was the price at before this big pullback? And those people would say, well, the price was down here, and then it exploded all the way up here, which has now given me the ability to draw a bull flag pattern. Now, once again, to reiterate, I fully understand that day trader scalpers that bought up there, yeah, you don't care about this bull flag pattern. But that's why I'm trying to differentiate between scalpers, day traders, versus people that might care about the bigger picture viewpoint of things, and that is where the bull flag comes into play. So overall, the chart's hanging in there. It's staying above its moving averages. It's still got plenty of opportunity to build those higher bases, which is good. And then for people that are just on the search for bull flag patterns, you like this price range, you like volatile stocks, here you go. So that wraps up the top 10. Again, if you like what you saw here and you want to learn more about the tool, then definitely get signed up for the free live class. Like I said, it'll be in a couple of days, Thursday, January 30th at 8 p.m. Eastern time. So I hope to see you there. And also, as far as the top 10 videos are concerned, if you enjoy these and you're looking for a super easy way to support the channel, please hit that subscribe button. It really does help out. And like I said, totally free, totally easy thing to do. So thanks for watching. Make sure you go get signed up for the free class. Have a good one.